Hey guys, Coach Curto here from Icons Rugby. How's it going? It's been a crazy couple of weeks. Things have been popping off left, right, and centre here in Russia. I've been back to Australia, gathering the family to bring them over, and there's been some awesome results from some of the athletes that come out of the Coach Curto stable. And one to mention is Natalia Moores, who just got selected in the Black Fern side to take on the Super Series happening in the US. And this is a huge accomplishment for this girl. Like, if people know her story and where she's come from and what she's done, they would understand what it kind of takes and that kind of switch you have to flick to upgrade your expectancy. And that's what I'm going to speak about today is flicking the switch to upgrade your expectancy. Now, this is a girl who came through as kind of like a age group superstar, was killing it everywhere in Australia, but was roadblocked, whether it was politics or selection or the Australian selectors just didn't think she was good enough or what, who cares? No one really gives a fuck. But at the end of the day, she created her own pathway to get into professional sport. And that came from the basis of having to travel to New Zealand. She played over there for a couple of seasons, then cracked the New Zealand 7 squad, and now has been able to transition into the 15s team. So another athlete who's used 7s to basically move themselves into professional sport. Now, this is really interesting for me because I was able to work with Natalia through the period before she made the Black Ferns. So when she decided to go to New Zealand, and then that period before she made the Black Ferns 7s, I worked with her there in helping with her training programs. One, her programs were provided by New Zealand 7s at a satellite program, but also doing the extra little stuff that was able to really magnify her results. And that's where the expectancy comes from. It comes from, we were able to work together through her mental kind of focus around what she expected from every session. Okay, and this is probably a big thing that a lot of rugby athletes don't understand, is they'll want to feel that kind of, fatigue or hard work. They want to know that they've been smashed to equate to a session being success. And it's really interesting because this isn't always the case. And it was really this point was reiterated to me from a corporate perspective, last week when I was speaking to a friend of mine, Zane Dempster, and he spoke about, he was in a chatting with a high level executive who asked him, how do you measure your daily success without KPIs or measurements? And that question just hit alarm bells. One, it hit for him, but two, it hit for me around athletes measuring all their sessions based on certain KPIs. And I'm 100% for putting in KPIs, but if you don't have it or you can't measure it, then how can you know that you've actually done the right thing? And this comes back to my point around expectancy, because we were able to work with Natalia and upgrade her expectancy to understanding what she's to get out of every session, what she's to get out of every day, what she's to get out of every week. And then from there, she was able to mentally tick those boxes, which would create confidence over a long period of time. It's not something short. People think confidence just comes and goes, but you can build it block by block by block by block by block. And that's what we're able to do with her, and build that confidence and upgrade that expectancy so that when she would travel back to New Zealand to play in her competitions, she would have a greater confidence, a great ability to achieve and just fire. Like, she would be on point because she would have the confidence in the work that she'd done, and it would create an expectancy to produce a result. Now, so many people go into competitions just thinking, I hope I go well today. I hope I do this today. I hope I do that today. Through a detailed training plan and knowing what you're actually working to, not entitled to, but what you're working for, creates that expectancy that the result's going to come. You've just got to put in the work on the field and make sure that everything aligns. And then you're good. You've got the skills, you've got the talent, you've got the hard work, you've got the strength, you've got the speed, you've done everything. and you can perform. Now, if you haven't done everything, that's when you're going to be, that's when you're going to create those holes in your confidence. And that's when your expectancy is not going to be there and it's going to be falsified. So what I'm kind of speaking about today is how do you upgrade that expectancy? And it's really, really simple, but it's very, very hard to do, because the funniest thing about it is it's just as easy as it is to do, it's just as easy as not to do, like many of the success strategies that we speak about here. So the number one thing you can do to upgrade your expectancy is you've got to identify exactly what you're chasing, exactly what it is. All right. And we speak about this a lot, goal setting or clarity, a lot. You've got to have that. Then second tier to that, you've got to know, sorry guys, what are the checkpoints to achieve that? So if it's professional sport, let's say it's, for Natalia was making the platform sevens. Before that, she had to make the Auckland squad or the development 7 squad in Black Ferns. Then before that, she had to make the Auckland squad. Then before that, she had to be at this level. Okay, so we've been able to take it all the way back down. Then we start ground floor and go, okay, what is the first step? Well, first step is this. What do we need characteristic-wise? She needs to be hardworking. She needs to be resilient. She needs to be confident. She needs to be aggressive. Okay, let's work on those outside of footy. Then what do we need to do inside footy? Well, she needs to have a 15-meter left to right pass and right to left pass. She needs to be able to step off both feet. She needs to have a sub 5-minute 1.2. She needs to have a 5.1 40-meter. And these things you can find anywhere what these KPIs are. They're measurable, they're measurables. So then all of a sudden we can measure where she's at, where she needs to be for this goal, and then scale it back and go, okay, by stage 1, we need to be at least a 5.2 on the 40 and maybe a 5.05 for our 1.2. That's where we need to be. And we can always be ahead of the game, but we can never be behind the game. Okay? So those little measurement sticks that we create along the pathway to our goals, align that with the characteristics that are going to match and complement those behaviors. And all of a sudden, we're creating this system where when we roll into that first kind of Auckland level for Natalia, she expects to make the side, she expects to be in the team, she expects to perform well because she's ticked all the boxes that are for the level above. Now, does that make sense, guys? She's not aiming here. Because she's aiming up here, this is expected because she's done the work. Now, she's not expecting there to get on talent alone. She's not expecting there to get because of who she is or what she's done previously. She's expecting to be there because what she's done in the moment leading up to that level. Then the next level, development. Okay, how does she make development? Well, she needs to be able to do this at the tournament. She needs to be able to hit this testing requirements. And she's able to do that because she's done the work from here. So when she comes to those levels, she's confident, she can deliver, she can hit the target because she's not second guessing herself, because she's not relying on false expectancy, which creates negative confidence. Like false confidence. Do you understand, guys? It's really, 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 really simple. But it's just as simple to miss one of those key points, to miss one of those KPIs, to miss that day, to say that, yeah, I should make this team, not expect to make the team. You've got a small level of false confidence in behind you, which is a crack in your armor, and something could happen on the day that destroys that. And then all of a sudden the world becomes this big, hard place, and you should have made it. You've done so much hard work. At the end of the day, 99 does not equal 100. And that's it. Like 99 does not equal 100. And so many people measure their, effort based on, well, I've done so much more than what I've done in the past, but you haven't done enough to get you further in the future. All right? People measure what they've done in the past, but they're not measuring what they need to do in the future. And that's a huge component of this. So guys, that's my thoughts on upgrading your expectancy, creating confidence and getting a result. If you have any thoughts or comments on this, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. It's Coach Kurto. I'm out. Peace.